right, we're going to get into a mailbag on today's video. And if I missed your question or if you missed the live show that we have every single Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central Time, go ahead and feel free to hit me up on social media. On Twitter/X, I'm TraceGirouard48. On Instagram, I'm TraceGirouard48. And on TikTok, you guessed it, TraceGirouard48. I'm trying to grow my social media platform, so if you want to hit me up, talk about the Saints, or just get more Saints coverage, jersey swaps, highlights, funny clips, great memes, and awesome content, I encourage you to follow me on social media, and I'm not too cool to not respond to you. If you hit me up, I'll hit you back. All right, let's dive into the first question coming in from my little brother. What's up, Ty? Says, pick one of these quarterbacks, Jayden Daniels, Bo Nix, or J.J. McCarthy. Gonna do a classic song that my mom used to sing. One of these things is not like the other. Jayden Daniels is that one thing, because he want to know the one thing about him that's different is he's good at football. Bo Nix, he's not. J.J. McCarthy is smart. I fear that he may not be a great NFL quarterback. He's a great processor. There's no doubt about that. He's a smart player. There's no doubt about that. But how far can a football IQ throw the football? How far or how many touchdowns can a high IQ throw? Like, you have to have the talent. You have to have the chemistry. You have to have all that. I'm not saying that J.J. McCarthy sucks. I don't necessarily buy all the hype. I also don't get why he's getting first-round hype. I get it, he won a natty, but feels like he won the natty the same way Peyton Manning won his Super Bowl with the Broncos. Sorry about it, Seeps. Pick a quarterback, though, for me. If you had to pick one of these three, I already know I'm going to see a flood of JDs in the comments section. I'm going Jayden Daniels as well. Bo Nix, dude's nickname is Pick Six Nix for a reason. Absolutely not. If he is a Saint, if he wears a Saints uniform, I think I would cry. That's just my take. But guys, if you want to get more videos and you want to get more New Orleans Saints coverage, subscribe for free content. That way you can get more Saints videos on your feed and on your recommended page whenever you open YouTube. You can watch these videos and maybe see some of these in the future, but if you subscribe, you're guaranteed to have this video get recommended to you on your YouTube page. So I highly encourage you, lock us in. It's 100% free, and if you hate it after a week, go ahead and unsubscribe, but I bet you'll stick around. Next question, LZ21 saying, #Saints, thoughts on Jake Haener being the longtime starter after Derek Carr? Now, I think that it's a tough evaluation for Jake Haener because we really didn't get to see him hardly at all. I mean, we saw him in the preseason. He put up 395 yards, a touchdown, 3 interceptions, threw 38 or 72 passes, completed 38 of those, which is about 52.8 completion percentage. In that Chiefs game, though, he threw an interception, showed really great poise, a short memory, came back, led the team on a game-winning drive in the preseason against the then defending Super Bowl champions, and then later on, back-to-back defending Super Bowl champions. So I think Jake Haener has the talent and the traits to be a good quarterback, but I think he needs a little bit of time. I think he needs to be able to really adjust and get comfortable in the NFL because it's a much different speed than it was at Fresno State. And he was a Senior Bowl MVP, so that doesn't go without, earning it. He's a dog. He played really tough against UCLA. We'll never forget that game. But I just want to see a little bit more from him. It's a little too early for me to say he can be a long-term starter. Biggie, Taysom has to stay. He's the lifeblood of this team. I would go as far as to say that it's him, it's Taysom Hill, Alvin Kamara, Cameron Jordan, like Tyrann Mathieu. Those are like my big four. Marshawn Lattimore as well. But those are my big four in terms of the guys who are the lifeblood of this team. And the production for Taysom Hill speaks for itself. The dude is just special. He's one of one, and he is a unique talent. He is the only player in the NFL's in the Super Bowl era to have 10-plus rushing, receiving, and passing touchdowns in his career. Taysom Hill is a special player, and I love the guy, and I want him to stay around in New Orleans. I think that the Saints will keep him, but we will have to see what happens because they need some draft capital. They also need to clear some cap space. But, guys, if you want to not clear cap space, but make some cap space and get some cash in your pockets, go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Plug in promo code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. PrizePicks is daily fantasy sports made easy. All you do is just pick 2 to 6 players, choose more or less on their projected stat lines, and voila, you can win some money. So in terms of some projections that I'm rolling with, it's the offseason. So I want to get into the MLB swing of things. See what I did there? Adolis Garcia, the whole season, he needs to hit 32.5 home runs. Trey Turner, I need him to just steal 28 bases, and I'm winning money. And Juan Soto, the dude plays in a Little League stadium. I mean, he is going to hit 35.5 home runs. I'm telling you right now. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But that's why I love Prize Picks, because you can put out these whole season-long projections. The baseball season's long. It's, 162 games or something? It's going to be hard to lock in and watch every single one of those. But I can tell you right now, it's going to be a lot easier because of Prize Picks. So download the app. Use promo code CLNS. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, and you can get an $100 deposit match when you use code CLNS. All that information in the comment section description of this video. All right, Adrian Wolf. How about Jordan Travis in the third round or middle of the fourth? Short answer, absolutely the frick not. Long answer, no, because this guy is a player who's coming off an ACL tear, and he is very old. Just to kind of set the scene here, I had my first year of college. I pledged my fraternity, took my freshman year courses, goofed around a lot in 2017. That was my first year. Fall of 2017 was my first year of college. His first year was 2018. I've had a full-time job, and I'm going on my full-time job in year 3. I've had it for over 2.5 years now. Jordan Travis has been in the college football that entire time. So I have gotten a degree and worked here since Jordan Travis has entered college football. He's a decent player, but he's old. He's only had one season of over 3,000 yards. Credit where it's due. Only a handful of interceptions. He doesn't throw a lot of picks. He has a very good decision maker with the ball. But if you're saying third or fourth round, no. Sixth round, why not? Why not? Makes at sixth or seventh or a UDFA, I would do it, but not anything really more than that. Also, you don't have a third round pick, so you can't make it happen anyway. LZ, back to you. We should trade down in the first to get some late round picks in 2024. Need to keep filling out the roster with young talent. So bear in mind, you will be getting 3 comp picks for David Onyemata, Caden Ellis, Marcus Davenport, all leaving in free agency last year. So those could be anywhere from 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th round picks. So those will be some of those like middle round, late round picks that you're asking about. But you do need a 3rd round pick. So like if it's a situation where the Saints could trade down from 14 and pick at the end of the first round, but also get a 3rd round pick, like that's something to think about. But I also do value picking in the top half of the draft because you can still get some pretty big playmakers there. And depending on how the board falls out, if you can get some big time talent or like a really, really special player, I wouldn't necessarily trade out of it. But that is definitely something to think about. And I think that trading out or trading down is a little bit more likely than trading up, which is different than in years past. Backyard Sports MVP Hall of Famer Pablo Sanchez, thank you for blessing us with your presence today. Brian Burns, no matter what. Brian Burns is good. Brian Burns is a really good football player. I would love to get him on the Saints. My only problem is you can't afford him. If the Saints were to try and get creative with the cap, maybe. But it feels like all roads lead to him sticking around in Carolina and just being the guy on the defense side of the ball there. I don't think that he would come to New Orleans, but if the Saints can find a way to negotiate a contract with him and he can come to New Orleans, 100% do it. I don't care what it costs. If you can get Brian Burns, I'm honestly kind of on the same boat as you. If you can sign him, do it no matter what it takes. Jerry G, will Andrus Peat be re-signed or get cut? So I think Andrus Peat's back. I don't necessarily think it's the right move. I personally am in the boat of maybe go sign another veteran guy that's a little bit younger, a little bit less injured or a little bit less banged up. Maybe you could draft some offensive line help. But he has been a very valuable piece to the offensive line for a few years. And at the end of the day, he is one of the guys who's been very, very versatile, and every time his name's been called, he's stepped to the plate and, I'm not going to say knocked it out of the park, but he at least goes down swinging and at least is playing decent enough. Like, I think that he isn't bad enough to justify just get him the hell off the roster, but I also don't think he's good enough to justify he needs to be a priority free agency. So I'm kind of in the middle on there. I think that the Saints are going to re-sign him, though. Lanky Boy says, I would love to see Rome Odunze in a Saints uniform. Okay, this is really bad radio, but I'm pretty sure I have a Rome Odunze jersey swap that I have done, and I'm trying to see if I can find it really quick. Rome Odunze would be sick, man. It would be really cool to see him on the Saints. He's a big-bodied guy. I do think he would be your immediate. I can't find it. I don't think I have one. No, I swear I have one somewhere. I could have sworn I did one too, man. Rome Odunze, if you ask me, I think that he would be your Michael Thomas replacement. He's a big-bodied guy. He can go and get. He can go up and climb the ladder, get contested catches. I mean, to be honest, if you line him up in the slot, you line him up running some slants, have him be effective across the middle of the field or even outside of the hashes, I'd love Rome Odunze. I think he'd be a really good pick. It goes back to you have to address offensive line and defensive line. Like, you have to get those improvements. But after that, yeah, no, like if you address that in free agency, give me Rome. I'm all in on that. Plus, then you round out a very young, talented core of Chris Olave, Rasheed Shahed, A.T. Perry, and Rome Odunze, who all four are on rookie contracts, meaning you can spend money elsewhere, and you have that locked in for the next few years. Adrian Wolf, did Rasheed Shahed get a contract yet? No, he is an exclusive rights free agent. He has not gotten a contract yet. This video was filmed on Wednesday afternoon, February 21st, so if anything's changed since then, that's really, we'll have probably already covered it. But right now, as of the time of the filming this video, Rasheed Shahed has not gotten a new contract yet. The Saints will likely do that very soon, so don't worry about it. I wouldn't put too much stock in the fact that it's taking a minute. Don't worry. It's going to be fine. Shahed will be a Saint next year. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I encourage all of you, if you haven't already, to subscribe today. It's 100% free. You get daily Saints videos, and it helps a boy out. And plus, I am going to be at the NFL Combine next week. So if you want to get Saints coverage from Indianapolis, subscribe today, lock us in, and you will stay notified. Y'all stay golden. We'll see you next time.